Today, we're talking about something that could completely change the game for entrepreneurs: the rise of BRICS. You've probably heard of these economic powerhouses: Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa. They're making big moves in the global market, and whether you realize it or not, their decisions impact your business. We're going to break down exactly what BRICS is all about, how their policies are shaking things up, and most importantly, how you can capitalize on the opportunities they're creating. This is your chance to get ahead of the curve, understand the risks, and position yourself for success in this new world order. So let's dive in. First, let's talk numbers. BRICS nations collectively account for over 40% of the world's population and nearly a quarter of global GDP. That's a massive amount of purchasing power and economic influence. For years, the global economy has been dominated by Western nations, but BRICS is changing that. They're forming their own trade agreements, creating new financial institutions, and challenging the existing order. Think about it. China is already a manufacturing giant, India's tech sector is booming, and Brazil is a leading exporter of agricultural products. These countries are no longer just emerging markets, they're major players on the world stage, and they're just getting started. As these economies continue to grow and cooperate, their influence will only increase. This is the rise of a new economic superpower, and it's happening right before our eyes. Now, you might be thinking, these countries are so different, can they really work together? And it's true. BRICS nations have diverse cultures, political systems, and economic strengths. But that diversity is actually one of their biggest strengths. It allows them to leverage each other's strengths and create a more balanced and resilient economic bloc. For example, Russia has vast energy resources that it can supply to energy-hungry economies like China and India. Brazil and South Africa are rich in natural resources that are in high demand globally. This interdependence creates a powerful incentive for cooperation and long-term strategic partnerships, and that's what makes BRICS such a force to be reckoned with. How are these nations influencing global markets? Let's unpack some game-changing economic policies. One of the key ways BRICS is changing the game is through its focus on South-South cooperation. They're actively promoting trade and investment amongst themselves, reducing their reliance on traditional Western markets. This means more opportunities for businesses within the BRICS bloc. Take the New Development Bank, for example. Established by BRICS nations, this bank is specifically designed to fund infrastructure and sustainable development projects in emerging economies. This directly challenges the dominance of institutions like the World Bank and the IMF, offering developing countries an alternative source of funding and support. This shift in financial power dynamics is a major development that entrepreneurs need to understand. Another key policy area where BRICS is making waves is in its move towards de-dollarization. They're increasingly conducting trade in their own currencies, reducing their dependence on the US dollar. This is a huge deal because it weakens the dollar's dominance in global trade and finance. For entrepreneurs, this could mean less exposure to currency fluctuations and potentially lower transaction costs. Imagine a world where you could import goods from China or export your products to India without having to convert everything to US dollars first. That's the kind of future that BRICS is working towards. This shift away from the dollar is still in its early stages, but it has the potential to significantly reshape the global financial system. And for entrepreneurs who are paying attention, this presents some very interesting opportunities. Let's dive into one of the most talked about aspects of BRICS, their potential shared currency. This idea is gaining traction as the global economic landscape evolves. It's not about replacing your dollars overnight, it's about creating an alternative that could coexist with existing currencies, providing more options for international trade and finance. The implications are huge. We're talking about a potential seismic shift in global finance that could alter the way countries interact economically. For decades, the US dollar has reigned supreme. It's been the cornerstone of global finance, the currency that everyone turns to for stability and reliability. But BRICS is looking to change that. They see an opportunity to create a new financial order, one where they have more control and influence. Imagine a world where you could buy Brazilian soybeans or Indian software without ever touching the US dollar. This could streamline transactions and reduce costs. This could be a game changer. It could open up new avenues for trade and investment, making it easier for BRICS nations to do business with each other and the world. Think about it. Reduced transaction costs, less exposure to currency fluctuations, and potentially greater bargaining power on the global stage. For BRICS nations, this represents a chance to break free from the dollar's grip and establish their own financial independence. But let's be real, this isn't going to happen overnight. There are numerous challenges and complexities involved in creating a shared currency. This is a long game. Implementing a shared currency across 5 diverse economies with their own monetary policies. It's a monumental task that will require time, effort, and negotiation. There will be hurdles, disagreements, and a lot of back and forth before we see any real progress. But if they can pull it off, the impact could be profound, not just for BRICS nations, but for the entire world. The BRICS currency proposal, even if it doesn't replace the dollar, could still shake up global trade. Countries like China and Russia are already using their own currencies for trade, signaling a shift. This could lead to a multipolar world with several major currencies. More competition could democratize global trade, but also bring instability. The global financial landscape is evolving, and those who adapt will thrive. For international businesses, staying informed and adaptable is crucial. The BRICS currency is a sign of a shifting global order. Stay vigilant and be prepared to adapt. Okay, let's talk opportunity, because for savvy entrepreneurs, the rise of BRICS represents a gold mine. We're talking about billions of new consumers, many of whom are entering the middle class and eager to spend. Think about it. China alone has a rapidly growing middle class larger than the entire population of the United States. That's a massive market for everything from consumer goods and technology to education and financial services, and it's not just China. India's tech sector is booming. Brazil is an agricultural powerhouse, and South Africa has a thriving tourism industry. Each BRICS nation offers unique strengths and opportunities for entrepreneurs willing to do their homework. But here's the key. You can't just replicate what works in the West and expect it to fly in these markets. You need to understand the local culture, consumer preferences, and business practices. But the opportunities go beyond just selling products or services in BRICS nations. Smart entrepreneurs are also looking at ways to diversify their investments and capitalize on the growth of these economies. Think about it: real estate in rapidly developing cities, stocks in emerging industries, even cryptocurrencies in countries exploring digital finance solutions. These are all potential avenues for savvy investors looking to get ahead of the curve. Of course, any investment comes with risk, and emerging markets are no exception. That's why it's crucial to do your research, understand the regulatory landscape, and potentially partner with local experts who know the lay of the land. Remember, diversification is key. Don't put all your eggs in one basket, especially when it comes to emerging markets. But by strategically allocating a portion of your portfolio to BRICS-related investments, you could potentially reap significant rewards in the years to come. Okay, so we've covered the potential upside, but let's be real, guys. No investment opportunity comes without risks. BRICS nations are still emerging markets, and that means dealing with some level of volatility and uncertainty. Think about it. Political instability, regulatory changes, even currency fluctuations can impact your bottom line. It's like trying to scale Mount Everest in flip-flops. You need to be prepared for anything. That's why due diligence is crucial. Before diving headfirst into any BRICS market, do your homework. Research the political landscape, understand the legal framework, and analyze the economic indicators. Remember, knowledge is power. And in the world of investing, it can be the difference between making a fortune and getting burned. So tread carefully, my friends. Another challenge: competition. These emerging markets are already attracting a ton of attention from entrepreneurs worldwide, so be prepared to face some stiff competition. You're not just competing with local businesses, but also with other international players who are eyeing the same opportunities. It's like trying to grab a slice of pizza at a billionaire's buffet. You've got to be aggressive. And let's not forget about cultural differences. Each BRICS nation has its own unique business practices, communication styles, and consumer behaviors. Ignoring these cultural nuances can lead to misunderstandings, missed opportunities, and even costly mistakes. So, before you start pitching your product or service, invest the time to understand the local culture. So, what does the future hold for BRICS? This coalition of emerging economies, Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa, has been making waves on the global stage for years now. These nations are on a trajectory to reshape the global economic landscape. With rapid urbanization and industrial growth, they are poised to become new powerhouses. The economic clout of these nations is growing, challenging the dominance of Western economies. Their influence on global policies and markets is increasing. The BRICS nations are home to a massive and growing consumer base, driving demand for a wide range of products and services. Entrepreneurs can tap into these markets with opportunities in tech startups and traditional businesses. BRICS nations are investing heavily in their industrial sectors, modernizing infrastructure and enhancing technological capabilities. They are making strides in technology, infrastructure, and innovation, laying the groundwork for future growth. So what does this mean for you? It's a wake-up call, guys. The Rise of BRICS presents a once-in-a-generation opportunity for entrepreneurs to diversify their portfolios, tap into new markets, and be part of a global economic transformation. Whether you're an experienced investor or just starting out, understanding the BRICS phenomenon is crucial. Don't sleep on this. This is your chance to get ahead of the curve and position yourself for success in the years to come. Now, I'm not saying you should pack your bags and move to Brazil tomorrow, but start by doing your research. Learn about the different BRICS economies, identify industries that align with your interests, and explore potential partnerships or investment opportunities. Remember, fortune favors the bold, but it also favors the informed. So stay curious, stay informed, and most importantly, stay ahead of the game. All right, everyone, that's it for today's deep dive into the world of BRICS and what it means for entrepreneurs like you. Remember, the world is changing and the smart money follows the opportunities. Thanks for tuning in to Currency Now. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell for more insights into the shifting tides of global business. Drop a comment below. Which BRICS nation do you think holds the most potential for entrepreneurs? Let's talk.